Let's make some crab cakes. So what you're gonna need is some crab mix, and I am using this chicken of the sea crab. I'm using the jumbo lump one, if it can focus for you guys. Jumbo lump. And if you have a deli or a seafood spot that will allow you to get it fresh out of, not in this can or jar, do that. You're gonna need some breadcrumbs, the W sauce, Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, a little Creole seasoning, black pepper, some mayo, some scallions, red bell pepper for color, of course, a white onion, fresh lemon, Dijon mustard. I choose to use Grey Poupon. It's so good. And of course, Old Bay seasoning. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is open up our crab. Do you see how jumbo it is? It's huge, guys. Let me fix my camera. There we go. It's jumbo. Look at these lumps. That's some good crab. So we're gonna put that in our container like so. That was one, and this is my second one. All right, what we want to do is examine it for any type of shells, because do not be fooled, guys. Sometimes they do have shells in it, so I'm just going through it, making sure we don't see any shells. I don't feel any. If there are shells, it's very small, so you're not going to be able to really see it. But it's all lumps. You don't want anything to be shredded when it comes to crab cakes, because you want to be able to eat it. So I'm just breaking it up just a little bit, because you have to make these into patties. Remember that. But I'm not really breaking it up. I'm literally just taking a little bit of them and just doing like this, just smashing them just a little bit, so that when we make it into patties, it will stick. But I'm going to leave it as lumpy as possible. So let me finish doing that. So do you see the difference? I just broke it up just a little bit. I'm gonna wash my hands and we're gonna begin seasoning this crab. All right, my hands are nice and clean. Let's go ahead and season this crab. We're gonna take a little bit of Creole seasoning. We're gonna take some black pepper. Black pepper always makes me sneeze. I don't even know how to get away from that. But hey, it's good. A little bit of garlic powder. And lastly, we're gonna take a little bit of our Old Bay and add that into it. Can't have seafood without Old Bay. And then what I'm gonna do, take my spatula and I'm just gonna fold it in. You don't wanna mix it, just fold it in. Because if you mix it, you're gonna break up the crab. And we've already done that. So just fold it in like so. Alright, so I have my skillet heating up with a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna toss in my bell peppers. Get that going. In a second. Alright. Then we're going to toss in the onions. That should be enough. And we are going to let this saute just a little bit. We don't want to cook it too much, but we want to cook it enough so that it's not as crunchy as when it's raw. Okay guys, we have sauteed our vegetables. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour it in. I let it cool down just a little bit because I didn't want to put it in while it was hot, because we still have to put our patties in the refrigerator, which is why I let it cool down, because you don't want to put nothing hot in here and then have to put something in the refrigerator. So all I'm doing is flipping it, trying to get it incorporated a little bit like that. So good. And now we're gonna put this to the side and we're gonna start working on our wet batter. I have 1 egg in here so far. Everyone knows I do not measure, so I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and rinse this spatula off just a bit. All right. And we're gonna throw some mayo in here. Honestly, it's probably gonna be like a cup of mayo based off of how I feel. That should be enough so far. Now we're gonna go ahead and take our Dijon mustard. It's the Grape Pain and it is the country Dijon. So it's a little bit thicker with the seeds. Just take a little bit of that, plop it in there, and we're going to squeeze some lemon juice. Cut up my lemon. Got my squeezer, and just gonna put that lemon juice all in there. Lemon and seafood, the acidity is amazing. All right, that's enough. If you don't feel like squeezing it yourself, feel free to go ahead and buy some fresh squeezed lemon juice. All right, and last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and just add a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce. Like that. And let's go ahead and mix it up so we can check the consistency of it all. Okay, we have a mix. Here's the consistency. I know it looks watery, guys, but don't worry, it's gonna work. We're gonna bring our crab back over here. We're gonna just pour a little bit of the mixture in there, a little bit at a time, because you always wanna check the consistency of your mixture. So right now, we want it to be a little bit of wet, because remember, we're still gonna throw our breadcrumbs in here. So as you can see, it's still thick. So let's pour some more in there. And as you can see, I'm just folding it in. Just checking the consistency. Just keep folding it in. That is looking good, guys. It's looking really good, actually. It smells good, too. All right, that consistency is almost there. I just need a little bit more. And always save a little for if you put too many breadcrumbs in your batter. So like if the batter becomes too thick, you can always pour some more of your wet mixture in to thinning it up. So I'm going to start pouring some breadcrumbs. It's plain breadcrumbs because we've already seasoned the batter and everything. And you don't want to add any extra seasonings in there because you already have the seasonings that you want. So I am just folding in the breadcrumbs. See, some restaurants, they'll add more filler than the actual meat. As you can see, we have more meat than filler. And that's what you want. That's a quality crab cake, when you have more meat than breadcrumbs. And for breadcrumbs, you can like crunch up your own crackers. I know a lot of people use Ritz crackers or the club crackers, but I like to just use the breadcrumbs. It's already to the consistency I need it to be. So if I don't have to do extra work in the kitchen, I don't. All right, that consistency looks pretty good. Right now, what I'm gonna do is toss in our scallions. And the reason why I wait till the last minute to do that is because if you do it and then put the wet mixture in there, it's gonna kind of like disguise the green onions, and you don't want that. You want them to be fresh. So that's why I put it in at the last minute. I'm gonna put some more in there. I like onions, so I'm gonna put all of them in there. And like I said, we're just folding it in. You never see me do this motion. It's always a fold. Because like I said, you don't want to break up the crab meat more than what it's already. Because the good thing about crab cakes is you have lump crab in it. So that's pretty good. I'm going to put a little bit more of the wet mixture in there. Just a little bit. And it's all, guys, it's all eyeballing. I'm just trying to see what's going to stick. So I think this is all we need. And as long as we can form some patties. Some people make balls, but I like patties. But as long as we can form some patties, we're good to go. So I am going to go ahead and get set up so we can go ahead and start forming those patties. And I'll be right back. I'm going to take some of the mixture by hand. And I am going to form a patty. You can form them how big or how small you want them. I like mine medium, so that's what I'm going to choose to do. It's probably going to make me about 8 patties, but yeah, you just grab the meat. Don't flatten them, just try to form them. So there's one. I'll let you guys get a close up if it'll focus. There you go. And I'm just going to continue to do all of them. So let's go. Okay, I have my patties complete. It made me 7 patties. They're a little thick. But I'm going to place these in the freezer for about an hour just to let them firm up before we start cooking them. So as soon as we start cooking them, I will be back with you guys. See you in 1 hour. Hey guys, we're at the stove. I have taken the crab cakes out of the freezer. They've been sitting out of the freezer for a good, what, 10 minutes at this point, because I am cooking some other things. So right now, I have my skillet heating up. I am going to take some garlic butter, plop that right on in my skillet. This is the garlic butter I'm using. You can find this at your local Sam's or at Amazon. So good. So good. Let me let this focus so y'all can actually see, because I love this garlic butter. There we go. So I'm just taking some of that, plopping it in the skillet. Now, you can choose to use butter or oil. I like butter because it gives it more flavor and it gives it a better crust, but you can use what you like. So this butter is melting pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and mix it a little bit with some oil. There we go. And now I'm gonna start cooking our crab cakes. I told y'all this was an easy recipe. It doesn't take much for this recipe. So I'm just throwing in one crab cake. Remember, the crab is already cooked. That's all, it is already cooked. You can eat it right out the can if you want. So what we're doing is just heating it up and searing it. We're not doing anything else. So we're gonna let this sear on each side, and we're going to be able to enjoy our crab cake. So let's just watch it sear. There you have it, guys. The crab cakes are all complete. I like mine a little dark, as you can see, but I did not make all of them dark. But yes, they are so delicious. This recipe is amazing, so easy. Even a baby can do it. So if you try this out, please like, comment, and subscribe down below. Tell me how you like it, and let's get into it. Bon appetit.